Oh, that was close.
It was.
We're live.
We are.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
It's man, it's been slow for us today.
Right. It has.
So slow.
Few days.
We've had a lot of lack of sleep last couple of
Right.
days.
Oh.
And I'm gonna need a lot of this.
Cheers.
Oh, so this is our morning coffee.
Morning coffee. Hot coffee this morning because it's
Oh, it's cold out there, man. Take a look at this.
brisk.
Yeah. You like to call it refreshing, don't you?
I do.
So there's your outside refreshing look.
Oh, so pretty.
It's actually warming up pretty good. We're at 41 degrees.
Whoa.
Yeah, earlier we were at 35 last time I looked.
Good. So
We didn't protect any of the plants.
I was just gonna say that.
So tired I can't even think about it. And then I was rushing to get this thing figured out last night because all kinds of issues going on. But we got a new mic, and so we should be good.
Our audio should be on point.
Yeah, so sorry about that for last week if you tuned in and couldn't hear us. Did not know. I had tested the mic before and it was fine. Then I was like, ooh, that did not work at all.
Right.
So we got that fixed.
We do. And this morning we're having coffee. Hot coffee.
Yeah.
Mine is with flavored cafe mocha. Just a splash.
Oh, okay.
Yours has just half and half creamer.
Mine's a little more basic.
Basic.
Half and half with some sweet and low.
Out of our first title mugs this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, these mugs are huge, man. So you can get a really big cup of coffee in here.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But it's misleading because there's so much extra. It weakens my coffee. So then I have to double the grinds to get it going.
That's right.
Grounds.
That's okay.
All right, so let's get on with the program, shall we? By the way, feel free to leave comments on this Facebook Live at any point in time.
That's right.
For example, let's say the audio doesn't work anymore. That would be a great comment to see.
Yeah.
I think I actually saw it the last time around, but I looked at it, it was too much.
That's right.
Christy says peppermint mocha for me. Ooh, that's nice.
Actually, we've tried that.
Yeah?
We have tried.
We've tried all kinds of flavors. It's funny.
Oh, I was coffee creamer overload with all the different flavors coming from Canada. We were very basic, didn't have many. Mm-hmm. Now,
That's right.
there's lots.
That's right.
There's plenty, in moderation.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get started on today's topic, which is first-time home buyers.
First-time home buyers, which
Everybody has been a first-time home buyer or will be. That's inevitable. It's kind of like paying your taxes and death, unfortunately. A first-time home buyer will happen.
and it's a topic I love to talk about.
Yeah, you do like first-time home buyers.
I really enjoy working with first-time home buyers.
And I have a better appreciation of being one after going through the whole process myself and realizing how my realtor didn't quite do what my realtor should have done.
That's right.
So
I understand.
I learned a little bit more on that.
That's why I got into it.
But before we do that, real quick, by the way, thanks for joining this morning. We do have a tour tomorrow.
We do.
Yeah, Gatewood Historic District.
Yep.
So if you've never had a chance to see some homes that were, built, say, 100 plus years ago or right around that time frame,
Yep.
and to see what the architecture and design was like and how they're restored and kept up to date, this is your chance. So it's the Gatewood Home Tour, Historic District, and there's going to be between 1 and 5
That's
tomorrow.
correct. Yep.
So we'll be out there.
We'll be out there. Yeah.
So they'll provide you a map. You can go to their website, which is gatewoodokc.com.
Yeah.
And then they have a couple of houses here listed. The 2001 Northwest 21st, Cary Place, not to mention the church.
Yes.
That's a nice building.
Yes.
And then a couple more houses, so you can check those out. So come out and see us tomorrow between 1 and 5. And
if you're unsure where Gatewood Historic District is, it's located between Northwest 16th and Northwest 23rd, and between North Clawson Boulevard and North Pennsylvania Avenue.
Actually, you know what? We should just share that Facebook on our page.
We will.
You got booted out, didn't you?
I did.
You were logged in.
I was.
Facebook said not in this house. All right, so let's go on with the market analysis for today.
Okay.
Now, this is a look at the last 7 days, so this is the most current. Now, I will show you, we're looking mainly here in this light brown section. This is central Oklahoma. There are other market analysis that can be done for other areas of the state, but today we're going to focus on that region. So the new listings about 541 have come online.
That's right.
So in other words, that means that's how many people are selling their home.
Yeah, new to market.
So back on the market means they took it off for whatever reason. They're putting it back on.
Or they expired.
Yep, or they expired the listing.
Came back on.
Price decrease. You see that number? That's huge.
Yeah, 558.
People are having to move because the market's changed, right? So
they have to make price adjustments to accommodate what's happening.
You can no longer get the value out of the home that you thought you could get 3 or 6 months ago. That ship has sailed. Don't even try it. You'll be very disappointed. It's not going to work in your favor, especially if you need to have a quick sale or move, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay, so price increases, a few of those, but again, this has basically been the same number for builders, typically cover costs.
New home builds.
Pending. There you go, 483. What does that mean?
They're under contract. It's contract written.
Good.
On existing homes.
And look at that, you've sold.
Whether they're new.
Look how many you've sold. 523. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, some have been withdrawn for various reasons, and some expired for various reasons, and usually it's because just one of the things can be the price maybe it was too high. And
the time of year right now too, people just, maybe we'll just wait it out, or
there could be various reasons for that.
Holidays are coming.
And then they'll either sit on it for a while, the ones that expired, or they'll get in that second column, which is back on the market.
Yeah,
after they've thought things over, maybe they've decided to do some things around the house, right?
Yeah.
So maybe, presentation, beef it up a little bit more, maybe come in with a little lower price tag, all that kind of stuff. And it's back in. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's the latest there. Now we're going to switch to our topic, which was first-time home buyers.
That's correct. So, ideally, when you're working with a first-time home buyer, always know where your credit's at. Know what your credit score is. Various avenues that you can get that checked out. If you are having any type of financial issues, always talk to your lender, your bank, whoever you deal with. Sit down in front of them. Let them know that you're thinking about purchasing a house. You want to buy a house. And have them sit down and walk you through what's showing up on your credit report. It's always good to know. Is it accurate? Is what the credit report is showing? Is it what you actually have outstanding or owe on?
Yeah.
So there's different types of credit scores as well. Excellent credit score is 720 plus. Mm-hmm. 720 plus. And then it just goes down from there. The below credit score, which is credit challenged, is about 580 and lower.
Now you can still get into a home with those lower credit scores. So don't, if it's not perfect, don't worry about it. The lenders can make magic happen. Now, they will not make the same magic that happened in 2008, which was part of the home crisis, bubble, crash, all that, because
it's changed.
There was a lot of things that were going on behind the scenes. They were using existing laws, and they were not written well. So they closed those loopholes and all those weaknesses. So
there's a lot more credit standards that one has to go through in order to qualify.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And because of that, if you're worried that with the interest rates going up, et cetera, there's a lot of fear out there from the media, as usual. If you ever need a good dose of fear, just turn on the media. You gotta get those adrenaline going. Get those endorphins going. I got my fear shot for today.
That's right.
Yeah, hit the media, and then you'll freak you out for everything.
That's right.
But so don't freak out in the home market, and
just talk to your trusted advisor, because we know we're in the know.
Oh yeah, trust me. We have these backdoor meetings and talks all the time from all these experts in the industry. So I now know more about this than I probably ever wanted to, but it's good because then we can educate you and inform you.
Knowledge is power.
That's right. Mm-hmm. So bottom line is get your credit score up, and still go talk to a lender, see what you can get approved for. Another little fresh tip I think you mentioned is you always want to keep your balance of your credit cards at a certain level.
That's right. So for example, if you have a $1,000 limit on your credit card, the balance should be $300 or lower. If you have no credit, apply for a credit card at your bank.
Yeah.
Or if you're still a little bit credit challenged, you can apply for a secure credit card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there are ways,
there's options.
So
to get you to start building credit, and
there's a lot of things that happen in life, that you can't control.
Young and foolish.
Or family issues, or lose your job, or
that's right.
All of a sudden everything was going great, and now it's like the rug is pulled out from under you. Don't sweat it. There's still things can happen.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's go on to the pre-approved process. That kind of takes us into that. The reason why we hit credit so much is because it's important for the pre-approval just to see what you're eligible for, right?
That's right. So again, we sort of touched on that. You don't need great credit, and you don't need a large down payment also to purchase a home. Mm-hmm. So those are another couple advantages.
Okay.
But always make sure you get pre-approved before you go house hunting.
True. And also keep in mind, though, that, and the lender will tell you this. They'll say, hey, we're going to get you pre-approved for a certain amount at today's rates. And they'll give you a little wiggle room, which you can expect if rates were to go up just a little bit, for example. But the take home that they're going to give you is we're going to lock you in.
That's right.
And you want to jump on this. Don't wait, 30 or 60 or 90 days because the rates will change again.
That's
and
right.
then whatever home you were eligible for is now changed.
That's
and
correct.
typically that's a lower price point. So that's, again, once you get this process going, you're committed, right? You're all in. You're not messing around.
Yeah, don't wait.
Yeah,
get out searching for that home.
Don't waste your time. Don't waste anybody else's time because time is money, literally. In that, once you get into that step, it's time to get going. Okay, so what's the next one?
Okay,
Well, I like this one.
Right. Well, finding a realtor.
Yeah, that's right.
Finding someone that you work well with, that you trust, that you're gonna just build that rapport with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
what can they look for in a realtor?
So once you start working with a realtor, you've decided who you want to work with. Or, you're driving around a neighborhood, you see a for sale sign and you call that agent, you happen to like them, or you pop into an open house, you happen to like them. For us, what we do is we have a buyer's advantage program that we would sit down. I would like to meet with you face to face, have a coffee, get to know you more, get to know what all your needs are, what your wants are, what are your must-haves in that home that you're looking for. If you can't meet face to face, of course, we can always do a phone call. We can do Zoom. There's so many different avenues, but it's always important to get to know what you need and what you want out of a house.
And I'm gonna hit this topic that's gonna hurt you a little bit. A realtor is supposed to be honest, upfront, direct, ethical, right?
That's correct.
If they're selling you a pie in the sky pipe dream and they're overinflating the price of the home to say, hey, we're going to make you lots of money here, that's a red flag. What you want to do on the honest world of the game is get a fair market analysis to find out what other homes have sold for. Not
in the
6,
neighborhood,
not 6 months ago, not 3 months ago. I mean, we're talking a month ago under. We're shortening that window more just because of the change.
That's correct. And if there's not some availability for houses that have sold, then you have to go a little bit further back. But otherwise,
sure, of course. But yeah, what you're wanting to do is compare today's movement, not yesterday's.
It changes.
Yeah, because it does change, and what you thought you could get for your home, 3 months ago, isn't going to happen today.
That's right.
Yeah, so you have to be willing to adjust. And the other thing is, a lot of people love the fact that their homes appreciate. It's what, a 3 to 5% rate, usually in Oklahoma every year. Take away the whole COVID thing where it went out of control, right? So let's get back to the main, normalized rate. The issue is a lot of times, even with this last year or so, when homes appreciate so much, let's say you bought in at $300,000, and all of a sudden you're wanting to sell it for $350,000, and let's just say you did that a year or two ago.
Right.
Wow, a $50,000 profit. That's huge. Now, do you deserve that $50,000? Meaning, what have you done to your home
to improve it?
To say, yeah, you know what? I feel comfortable asking you for $50K more than I paid just last year.
Because I've done this, and this.
Right. So you have to have a reason of investment on your own to get that extra higher price tag. So as a new buyer, new home buyer, that's one of the things that we're going to guide you in to be aware of.
We'll guide you every step of the way, right from our first meet and greet. I'm going to find out how many bedrooms, bathrooms. Do you want a gated community? Do you want certain amenities in that HOA? So we'll guide you, and then we'll start showing you properties, show you what we're doing. We'll give you sheets, which brings us to when we are out shopping for homes, the other PDF.
Oh, you want to go with that one? Okay,
yeah.
Let's show that up here. Quick little
so when we're out,
guide.
Yeah. So when we're out looking at properties, it can become very overwhelming. And once you're set up on that buyer's advantage program, you're going to either favorite some homes. We're going to discuss some homes. I have some back end information that sometimes I can find out about the property to forward on to you. So I'm going to send you this PDF. We're going to print it out. You're going to walk around with each property. I'm going to have a detailed sheet of the home that we're looking at, and then you can go through this list as well.
Mm-hmm. And any of the information we ever show you on these,
they're available
on these broadcasts here.
Yeah.
We can send them to you at any point in time. Just
That's right.
DM us, send us an email, text us, whatever, however you'd like to communicate.
That's right. This is just a house hunting checklist, so that way you can keep everything in order, on track, and not feel overwhelmed. This is supposed to be a fun, happy
for sure
process.
Yeah.
So we want to make it as seamless as possible.
Yeah, because it can become stressful, right?
It can.
You're in an area you're unfamiliar with.
That's
and
right.
You're having to put a lot of trust in people you just met.
That's right.
And that's a huge step.
It is.
Trust is huge in this business. And you don't want somebody looking at you as dollar signs, right?
Right.
You want somebody to look at you as family, building a relationship, keep in contact with you both before, during, and after.
That's right.
The whole process, and being there for you every step of the way. So that's really
Absolutely.
what we look for.
And that's something that I lacked when I had my first home purchase.
You know what?
I lacked a lot of follow through.
You're right.
I had a lot of questions, and they were talking terms that I didn't quite understand, and I felt rushed with them.
Yeah.
So I don't ever want to put my buyers in that situation. No question is a stupid or dumb question.
Okay, so let's say a few more things just real quick to rattle off here for realtors. So we provide you with details about a home you like.
That's correct. That's
property
the
taxes, neighborhood,
That's right.
info, sales price, all that.
Yeah.
We will submit an offer to the seller
That's right.
and the terms and the closing date.
We're going to do all the negotiations
Yep,
for you.
get the best
Get
price
you the
we
best
can.
price.
Let's see, we're going to handle all the paperwork, the contracts.
Everything.
Outline that for you.
That's right.
And we partner with the other players in the industry, such as
Yes.
the lenders and the title companies. And we only do business with those that, A, we're comfortable with, and B, are going to be like what we're going to be, which is make sure that you understand and feel comfortable with every step of the way.
That's right.
Let's see. Once you actually, here's a good point is, we talked about how you need to kind of move. You need to think about when you want to move. What's
That's
the
right.
date? What you have to be out by your, apartment lease or whatever at a certain date.
That's
All right,
right.
well, let's get moving. Time is of the essence. So
That's right.
make sure you know of a date for possession.
Typically, it's a 30-day window, but some lenders can close within 21 days. So you can, if you need to move quick, we can get you quick.
Yeah, for sure.
And then at the time that you're writing the offer, keep in mind that there's going to be an earnest money deposit. So it's usually about 1% of the purchase price of the home that you're looking at.
Yeah. And then also, when you're looking for homes, you're going to realize quickly how your tastes may change.
Oh, yeah. So
and so that we understand that process. And that's why we ask a lot of questions up front of your likes, dislikes, because it helps to narrow down what there is to offer. And then once you see it, you fine tune from there versus like a shotgun approach. Where it's like, I want to look at everything. Well, that's not going to be feasible. You can't do that.
Too overwhelmed.
Yeah,
so you have to
it's
really
too much.
narrow it down.
So we really filter it down to everything that you're interested in or what you basically need, and we go from there.
Absolutely. And then we can make changes, tweaks.
If there's nothing in those categories, make a few changes, and we'll open it up and go some more.
That's right.
All right, let's do home inspections.
So once you have the offer, we have an accepted offer between you, the buyer, or you, the seller, and then we go on to the home inspection.
Yeah.
Home inspection usually happens within the first. You have to get that scheduled usually within the first week. Ask your friends, your family, who they've used, if they can recommend anybody. There's many, many home inspections out there. Look at their Google ratings, how they rate on Google.
Yeah, we can still offer those that we feel comfortable with, in the industry.
We have a plethora of home inspectors that we work
there's a never-ending list of people that we can associate ourselves with, but we also recommend asking your family members, your friends,
Right.
who did they use, how did they feel about them, were they comfortable, were they happy with the service?
That's right. And always keep in mind too that when you are working with the home inspector, you're going to be there. You're going to want to walk around with him, listen to what he's saying. He's going to give you a report after, but keep in mind, he's never going to pass or fail the home. all his job is to pick out the deficiencies
Right.
About the property.
Right.
He's not going to say, yeah, you should buy this house, or no, hard no. That's not what he's there to do.
That's correct. Now, again, this process is about a week before closing. So it happens pretty quickly. Like
once a week after you have an accepted offer.
Yeah. So once you make that offer, I guess I'm thinking fast, because closing used to happen within hours and days. It probably would take a little longer, now, because the market's changed a little.
The market's shifted, so there's not as much competition out there, for home buyers. So.
Yeah, so that'll get scheduled, and then once that process is done, everything's in the okay. Everybody's kind of moving on to the next step, right? Now, like you mentioned, it's basically for the major repairs and major issues. It's going to be noted. It's not going to be cosmetic stuff like, oh, there's a scratch in the cabinet. They're not going to.
That's obvious.
They're not going to do anything with that. They just want to make sure that you're protected as far as structural issues.
That's right.
And the main issues: plumbing and AC and heat and all that stuff. And of course, is the roof going to cave in on you? Kind of a big one there.
All right.
So they will not, like you said, pass or fail a home.
Right.
I used to think of it that way as too. Did it pass? And I don't know how that started in the industry, but it's not a pass or fail. It's just here's a list of things. You guys can agree on some type of compromise on how to fix them.
Well, it's up to you. Do you feel that these are major things that need to be fixed? Can you bypass it? Can you fix it yourself? Is it something that you want to bring and address to the home seller? So that's all conversations you're going to have amongst yourselves and with your agent.
Yeah, and your realtor's all part of that process to make sure that part of it goes smooth. Yeah. No one likes confrontation. No one wants to be in that uncomfortable position of, hey, so we take all that away from you, so where you just breeze easy, just say, hey, this is what I want, and then we take care of everything else.
That's right. Well, we want you to talk very candidly and very open with us. Home inspections typically last between 2 to 3 hours, depending on the size of the house.
Yeah.
And for home buyers, it's in this market now, I think it's up to you to purchase it. That's your expense.
Yeah, but it only lasts you'll get a preliminary report at the end of that, and you can ask questions, during the process.
Absolutely. You can follow him around and ask questions as they go, or you can wait till he's done.
Yeah, you can say, hey, why'd you do that? Or what's wrong with this? And, they'll tell you, so don't be afraid to bother them. The whole process, though, takes about 2 to 3 hours.
I've learned so much over the years by doing home inspections. Every property that I've sold over the years, and I've been in this industry over 12 years, I've been privy to home inspections.
Yeah.
And I think they're a wealth of information. And they're a necessity, I feel, for home buyers.
Okay, so we've gotten the credit report, you got pre-approved, you picked your realtor, you've made an offer on a home.
Made an offer.
Right, you found your dream home, you've made an offer, you've got it inspected.
That's right.
It quote passed, even though we don't use that term. In other words, it wasn't anything that was going to stop either party from going forward with the sale.
That's right.
Now it's time to close. And this is the part when I was a first-time home buyer that was most confusing to me. Was I was given a stack of papers this big, and I had no idea what I was signing my life away to. I just had to trust everybody in this process wasn't going to hose me.
Well, by then, you've built that rapport, that relationship, and as your advisors, we can explain the pages as they go along. Some like to read them detail to detail. Yeah. And some just trust us with what we're saying. Yeah. But you always get a copy. You get a copy of everything. Sure. So whatever you're signing, you will be receiving.
Yeah. And I can tell you this, there are so many lawyers involved, and there are so many overseeing entities in this process that I'm not sure how you can be taken advantage of from start to finish. There's too many ways to catch stuff. That's not right. In the final stage, the title company is the one that catches the most, which is, can this property even be sold?
That's right.
Is there a lien on it? Is there, it's an easement problem?
And is the owner that shows on title the actual person that owns the property? That's major. That happened to me. I had a property that I was selling, and title, we came down to the closing day, and it's like, oops, my property was actually listed as the neighbor's property. Neighbor's property was listed as our property. So we were lucky that we were fortunate, and it didn't tie anything up,
So what happens is basically you do a final walkthrough once everybody's agreed on everything.
Right. So that means we're going to walk through the property at closing. We're going to make sure that the house is as it was when you first purchased the property. And if there was any repairs that needed to be done, were they done?
And
were they completed?
There was no switcheroos.
Right. So that's another thing that happened to me. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You got a lot of bad luck on your buying home.
Hence why I'm in this industry. If one person can make a change, it's me.
From experience.
From total experience.
Oh my goodness.
I purchased a home in the property. When I looked at the house, it said stainless steel appliances. And when I got there, they were switched out with white appliances. Now, there's nothing wrong with white appliances, but if you saw the property and in the write-up it showed stainless steel, what happened to them? So that all got rectified, thankfully.
Okay, so let's see. We've got the property as good as when you purchased it.
That's right.
Now it's time for the title company. We'll go to that location. We'll meet there.
We'll meet at the title company. That closings can take anywhere from 1 to 1.5 up to 2 hours, just depending on the complexity of it. So what they do is their role is just strictly to verify that this whole process is legal and it's good to go, right? Yeah. They want to make sure that nothing's going to hold this thing up. For documentation wise. That's right.
They make sure basically if the seller has the rights to sell the property to the buyer. So even though that sounds relatively simple, there's a lot of background digging that has to go in to make sure all that stuff is valid.
That's right.
Let's see. So during the title search, they'll look for any outstanding mortgages, liens, judgments, unpaid tax issues, restrictions, easements.
Anything that's going to impact home ownership within that property, they're going to find that. They're going to issue the title insurance, and they're also going to prepare the abstract of title.
They'll even check to make sure the land is right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they go deep.
They do. Yeah.
So there's no way you're going to end up with a false deal.
No.
Once it gets to this point, it goes.
You better not.
It goes through. Okay. So last thing that they do, they will provide a abstract of title.
That's right.
And that's just a short summary. Okay.
Short summary of what it found during the title search.
Yeah, it's just a history of ownership going as far back as records can go. And it could be 100 years, 200 years, whatever's on the docket.
Depends on the age of the house.
Yeah. And that's it. And it's all legal and binding. Okay, so here's a quick look. Let's go to this because we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah.
And then we're going to show our new addition to Team Tuttle Realty.
Oh, yes, Team Tuttle Realty.
I'm sure that's what everybody wants to see. They're like, what? Okay, so real quick here.
It's just a home buyer roadmap.
Yeah, this is a little roadmap, kind of what we discussed. You meet with the real estate professional, a.k.a. us.
Yeah, Buyer's Advantage Program.
Get on the Buyer's Advantage Program. You get pre-approved. We start your search for homes.
That's right.
We narrow it down to your specific needs, wants, desires.
Yeah.
Get that contract going.
Absolutely.
Make that offer.
That's right.
We negotiate if we need to.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, let's see here. Once we get it under contract.
Final details, prepare for the closing and closing. And then, you got your keys.
And then it's done. So, and again, you have a checklist here that we'll use.
Yep.
To kind of go to your taste buds and to narrow down what you need and what you want.
That's right. And honestly, you kind of know as you're walking through the property, is this the one? You know, hands down. It's like, I don't want to see anymore. Or
it really is like that. Isn't that funny? Because I remember when I was looking around, I was like, it's just not quite it. No, it just doesn't have this. And then all of a sudden you walk in one time and it's like one thing is it. You don't even need to see the rest of the house. It's so bizarre how it works. And when it clicks, it just clicks.
Right. And for us as your trusted real estate advisors, I like to look at the bones of the house, the structure of the property. I mean, you can see all the nice things that's in the house, how it's decorated. Those things go.
Yeah.
They're not part of the property.
True.
So you have to picture your stuff inside this house and how is it going to gel for you and your family.
And while you're doing that, we will take the responsibility of looking for imperfections to point out that you're not going to notice. Because you're in the positive poly mindset. And we're in that, we're going to find the negative, Nellie's, just to caution you.
Oh, yeah. There's lots we do when we're walking through a property.
We're looking for the cracks, or the busted glass, and not to dissuade you from buying the property, not at all, because nothing's going to be perfect. But we want to make sure you're well aware of what you're getting yourself into, just in case maybe it's too much to handle, or it's something that's a red flag.
That's right.
So we look for the red flags, we look for the trouble.
Right, and then we leave it up to you, and then...
Yeah, so we would do our job if we were just
due diligence.
Go, oh yeah, it's great, and then not point out these horrible things that are wrong with it. That's not good. Right. So, all right, let's go on to the new addition to the family as we wrap this up. Can we? No, there she is. Yeah,
can we see her? This is little Penelope.
Little Penelope. That's our new addition to the Teacup Yorkie family.
Yep. Larry has a little friend now.
Larry's he's mixed.
Oh my gosh.
Larry has never had to share.
No.
And so now Larry has to share little Penelope.
Yeah.
Man, you can barely see her because she's so dark.
I know.
And
she's going to lighten up like Larry because Larry was the same color.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
You start really dark hair and then it gets more brown and then kind of some blonde and dirty blonde and all that.
So she's 10 weeks old right now. 10 weeks. She probably weighs about a pound. She's a tiny little thing.
A pound of fur.
Right.
But she's sweet, got a great personality, loves to play all that.
That's right.
So fresh out of Canada.
Yeah.
So Jody flew up there Thursday morning.
Flew up to Minneapolis Thursday morning.
Drove to
North Dakota, Fargo, North Dakota.
The daughter met her there from Winnipeg.
My daughter, with the little puppy. Because the puppy couldn't fly because at 16 weeks is when a dog can get rabies. And that's when they can get on an aircraft. Being this young.
this old 10-week dog.
Being this young, there's no way they'd allow her on an aircraft without sufficient shots and vaccinations.
But she's a sweetie. She runs around, a lot of energy, of course. Typical puppy.
But also likes to sleep a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Very docile.
Yeah, well, that's funny because it's go, and then it's
but
and
chewing.
then it's go.
And she's chewing.
Oh, she's in the teething stage. Likes to chew on everything, including your toes.
Yeah.
So that's fun to have a new little puppy in the house.
That's right, little Penelope.
And like I said, Larry loves that playing part, but only when Larry wants to play.
That's right.
When Larry doesn't want to play, he's like, "Ugh."
That's right.
So it'll be a little, bonding experience for the two of them.
That's right.
So that's about it.
That's all I have.
We'll have more with Penelope and Larry later. And I want to thank Ferguson Roof Systems. They have become our sponsor here for Team Tuttle Realty. So I appreciate those guys stepping in.
Yes, absolutely.
I've done business with Ferguson for years on my other business for AT's Weather. And you won't find, seriously, a nicer, more authentic individual. So really appreciate him being part of Team Tuttle Realty as well.
Right. So
if you have any roofing conditions that need to be addressed, basically reach out anytime. Let's get a couple of Facebook comments and we'll wrap this thing up, right?
If you have any questions, and feel free, if there's a topic that you want to know more about or would like us to cover, let us know. Reach out to us. Any home buying questions? Do you know of anybody wanting to buy or sell? We're your team.
Right.
We're your team.
That's right. Okay, so let's see if I can't make this work. And let's see. Last time it was working.
Okay. Last time it worked.
Last time it worked. And this thing, is it gonna work? Come on, baby. Here we go. There we go. Kayla Reed. She says, "Those cups."
Those cups.
That's right. She likes the first title cups. Yes.
Right.
Kayla, awesome. All right, and then like we mentioned earlier, Christy was all in the peppermint mocha.
That's right, and then
so we're down with that. I'm down with flavored coffees.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
And then of course Kayla's like, oh, love the little cutie.
Right. Oh my goodness, what a doll baby.
Yeah.
Yes, that she is.
Yeah. So okay.
She does have a pink sweater.
Yeah.
But
right now she's chewing on my laptop. Mm-hmm. Okay, you're not gonna get very far with that, there, sister. So. Anyways, we go forward and do this more and more. Always feel free to reach out on these Facebook Lives for your questions and comments, and we'll get to those, especially at the end of the show if we don't see them, during the show to address.
Oh, that's right. So there's many avenues you can reach us.
Yeah, and we're going to try. The attempt is to keep this under 30 minutes, but usually there's a lot of information to cover, and we want to make sure we're thorough. So you can always go back if you have to break off. Just come back and watch the replay. It'll stay up there as part of a series that we're going to do every Saturday. And it's roughly about the same time, 9 o'clock in the morning or so, when we've gotten ourselves out of bed. We're half awake with our coffee.
Right.
So we wake up as we talk to you. So when we started this, I was like, I don't know if I can do this today. Okay, so I think that's it.
Thanks everybody for joining.
And we'll see you on the next broadcast. Just make sure we put the events on our Facebook page just to kind of RSVP. That way you get notified when it's time.
That's right. And be sure to like and share.
Exactly. And tell your friends about Team Tuttle Realty and reach out to us anytime. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys have a great weekend. See ya.